has a season, till it is gathered to the Father's fold. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee. Every good gift, all that we need and cherish, comes from the Lord in token of His love. We are His hands, stewards of all His bounty.
This is the earth and is the heavens above.
Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee. All things
To our Bishop, Most Reverend Renato B. Mayugba, to our School Director, Reverend Father Peter Romeo N. Bunuan, to all the ICA faculty and staff, to all ICA alumni, to the PTA Central Board, and to all the very supportive parents and guardians, to our pupils and students, friends, ladies and gentlemen, naimbag nga aldaw katatayo amin. This COVID-19 pandemic has caused so much chaos and still is continuously affecting us. It has revealed susceptibilities, vulnerabilities, and has affected every human endeavor, and more so than education. It was almost a year now when enhanced community quarantines and lockdowns were first declared, brought about by the global pandemic, causing us to inevitably restructure our learning delivery mode that is gradually being shifted from or to the virtual world, whereas we know poses major challenges in the new normal. Though it was never easy transitioning to the new paradigm setup of education, there is really nothing that we can do but to adapt to the changes and challenges and uncertainties with our current situations. And as educators who took oath to delivering quality education, it is our duty, whatever the situation is, to step up, to be flexible, to push our limitations, and to be trailblazers, and to take roads that have literally never been journeyed before, and to make the route that has never been discovered. Just as what our school director, Father Tito, said, adapt and flex and shift and pivot. That is why today we have been graciously gifted to give you this celebration that we think you Academians deserve. And it is my distinct honor and high privilege to welcome you all to this 58th Academy Day to celebrate another milestone, important milestone in ICA's history. And with this year's theme, Academians through the years, gifted the gift, which is taken from Matthew chapter 10, verse 8. Freely you have received, freely give. Our gift of faith is our gift to the world. This reminds us of how we Academians truly embraced the Catholic faith we have been gifted with through the years. It is our mission to make the faith known to all. And in this year's Academy Day celebration, in a new paradigm is made more meaningful as it strives to establish its resiliency in education amidst the health crisis we are in. And through the different contested activities and through this virtual celebration, may we always remain steadfast and united in our faith to thrive, to lead, and serve as a community in this new normal, and to strengthen ICA as a Christ-centered Catholic educational institution, and to experience Christ's heart of flaming love through this virtual celebration. It may not be as grand as what we used to, but I hope you guys would appreciate what we have prepared for you. To our online friends all over the world, thank you very much for taking the time from your busy schedules to join us virtually. Sit back, relax, and enjoy watching. And on behalf of Reverend Father Tito Romeo and Buenjuan and the rest of the ICA faculty and staff, I welcome everyone. May we have a wonderful celebration.
The increasing rate of modernization and urbanization has caused a heavy toll on the environment. Due to the modernization in the lifestyle of people, the condition of the environment is degrading day by day. Our Mother Earth is affected in many ways, like increasing pollution, depletion of energy resources, poisonous air, global warming, and adverse weather conditions, and so on and so forth. However, people nowadays are becoming more aware to protect our environment and are trying to make genuine efforts in order to save it from further degradation. There are plenty of things we can do every day to help reduce greenhouse gases and our carbon footprints to make a less impact on the environment. Taking care of the earth is not just a responsibility, it's a necessity. Here are some of the ways in which every person can contribute to some extent in saving the environment. Number 1. Grow more trees. Trees not only help in purifying the air around us, but also benefit in millions of other ways, one of which is climate control. Trees contribute in maintaining the air quality by emitting oxygen and thus reducing the greenhouse effect from the atmosphere. As a result, trees save us from extreme weather conditions. Number 2. Say no to plastics. Plastics are non-biodegradable substances that do not decompose. They cause land pollution and also prove fatal for animals when they swallow polythene bags or pouches. It chokes their respiratory system and as a result, they die out of suffocation. Also, burning of plastics causes production of highly poisonous and toxic gases that are harmful for humans to inhale. Number 3. Use alternative sources of energy. The gases emitted during the combustion of coal and petroleum are responsible for increasing the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which highly contributes in depleting the ozone layer and thus adds up in raising the temperature. We must turn to other forms of energy like wind energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, and etc., as they do not leave any after effects and work in an environment-friendly manner. Number 4. Use public transportations. The gases coming out of the vehicles by the combustion of fuels are adding to the air pollution even more. Thus, it is better for us to use public transportation to reduce the pressure on the environment. Number 5. Do not litter your surroundings. Littering around is in itself a bad habit that many of us have. Throwing away wrappers, garbage, and other waste around your surroundings adds up in the breeding of germs and bacteria, which are responsible for causing several diseases and polluting the environment as well. Number 6. Save natural resources. The reserves of non-renewable resources like coal and petroleum are limited and endangered. We can rely upon the other renewable forms of energy and put less pressure on the non-renewable ones. However, we must not consider the renewable reserves as our own property and should not waste them too. This way, we can save our natural resources for ourselves as well as for our future generations. Number 7. Rainwater harvesting. Although water is a renewable natural resource, yet the careless use and wastage of water has started the problem of water crisis in several countries. Let us try to save water in as many ways as possible. One of the best and easiest way to do so is by collecting rainwater in reservoirs, tanks, and at the very primary level in our rooftops so that it could be used for other purposes in our houses like for watering plants, washing dishes, clothes, cars, and etc. Number 8. Reduce pollution. Pollution is one of the major reasons for the degradation of our environment. All kinds of pollution like land, air, and water acts as the mediums to ruin our beautiful earth and make it unsuitable to live in comfortably. We must understand that our actions are not only posing threat to the environment, but ultimately, it is making the earth unfit for us to live in. Number 9. Recycle. Recycling the products is the best way to reuse objects in different ways. It is the process of turning waste material into new and usable ones. This could be seen as alternative for waste disposal, as we know that disposing of waste, especially non-biodegradable objects, pressurizes the environment to a great extent. By recycling, we can use the same object all over again in different forms, and as a result, the production of materials like plastics could be lowered down. Number 10. Spread awareness. Indeed, working on the personal level to protect our environment helps a lot. However, we should also step out of our comfort level and try to make others aware of the practices which lead to the degradation of the environment. We must take extra efforts to spread this awareness to the less educated and less exposed section of the society. If every one of us begins to do our part in saving the environment, the earth will again become the same beautiful and healthy place for living. Urgent action is essential, and we must seize the unprecedented opportunities to change the course of history. We truly have the power to build a future in which the nature and the people can thrive together. A more sustainable path is possible. We must join together and put all our efforts into the big priorities that will make this vision a reality. Progress is critical, but surely not the cause of the earth. Our motto should not be blind opposition to progress, but rather opposition to blind progress. The fate of the planet is in our hands.
Protecting the planet starts with us. I believe we have the power to partner with Mother Nature to repair, rehabilitate, and restore the planet towards achieving a better Earth. Today, I'll be sharing you some great proposals, recommendations, and also my thoughts about how we should take care of Mother Earth so that we won't be losing our home. First and foremost, plant a tree. I know we are aware of the great impacts that trees give both to nature and to us. Why is it that this is one of the major solutions to achieve a better Earth? Simply because trees give off oxygen that we need to breathe. Trees reduce the amount of stormwater runoff, which reduces erosion and pollution in our waterways and may reduce the effects of flooding. Trees provide food, protection, and homes for many birds and mammals, and they help combat climate change. This just proves that the impacts of planting trees are far more than anything. Nearly half of Earth's forests have been cleared or degraded. While I was researching, I came across a word called agroforestry, which I just heard. Agroforestry systems have already been adopted in many parts of the world, and I believe it should continue over the years. Moreover, I do think that we'd rather reduce our contribution to the destruction of the earth than continue destroying it. Say for instance, we should not be totally relying on fossil fuels by now as our good source of energy. Aside from they can't be reliable forever, they are great contributors to global warming. There are a lot of safer and cleaner alternative sources of energy out there, like solar energy, wind energy, hydropower energy, among others, that are being used and made effective to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. Bike more, drive less. That means that if the destination is not that distant and can still be ridden by a bicycle, why not? This action would definitely help cut greenhouse gas emissions and reduce the nation's dependence on oil. Also, you'll be getting a free cardio exercise from that alone. By choosing a renewable energy supplier, not only are you reducing the number of fossil fuels you consume per year, but you are also helping to improve continued national energy security. Thus, we can save the planet with our own contributions. Moreover, in the mining industry, they may have negative impacts on the environment, including deforestation, erosion, contamination, emissions, etc. To prevent all of this from happening, there should always be a land rehabilitation after withdrawal. You deform the area, so you must restore it back to its original form. Moving on to the possible ways that each and every one of us can do, that is the 3 R's, which means reduce, reuse, and recycle. It may sound cliche and we heard it many times already, but let's be honest. This has been a very and simply said solution, but people can't even do that simple as we thought. So if only we cooperate, let's think that the major part of this goal is just the proper sorting of garbage, because it is at that point where the lesson starts. Last but not the least, we should consider the fact that we should educate and become educated. When you further your own education, you can help others understand the importance and value of our natural resources. Commitment to restore the earth is growing. To achieve this goal, one must empower a global movement where everyone must come together to turn commitment into results. We can get ourselves involved in helping to rehabilitate, restore, repair our planet towards achieving a better home. Together, let's make tomorrow better than today.
Having thoughts of an ideal Earth is a sign that someone is asking for something better. A better society, a better nature, a better natural resources, and most especially, a better Earth. But to attain an ideal planet, it will not just happen in a blink of an eye. I believe that the world needs technologicalism. What is important is that the earth must maintain its everlasting beauty, beauty that provides the food that we eat, that came from the land masses and bodies of water that we refuse to take care and goes impaired. Because for me, an ideal earth must be a safe environment because it is where we stay, it is our common home, and it is where animals and plants live on it that we depend to. So, our earth must not be an area of land, water, and air pollution and degradation. So, keep watching the video so that you may know how to attain our sustainable environment and ideal earth. Plant more trees! And enrich native vegetations, for they are the ones who will protect us from the strong effect of typhoon, such as flooding. And one thing more, land masses are no place of mining sites because extraction of fossil fuel, minerals, and rocks are just destruction of land masses, which is it supports the life of us humans and of course to maintain a good biodiversity. It is not also bad to take care of animals that will provide our basic needs such as this one. Because in order for us to not buy anymore in the market or the groceries like products like this, because if we do, it will again cause high demand on this aspect and it will lead to livestock farming, which is not good for the environment. Thank you! Again, this is way much better than depending on the products of the market because in such way, there are so many things that we could conserve, such as if we, for instance, use our vehicle to go in the market, then we could conserve fossil fuel in the form of petroleum. And also, we could also reduce waste or garbage because the packaging of this product, if we bought it in the market, it will only use plastics or some sort of packaging that are contributors to the increasing temperature of our environment. And we don't like that to happen. Do not dispose ripe fruits or such as waste organic matters that are found in your kitchen because they can be used as a fertilizer for your plants at home. Because this way, you will never use again chemical fertilizers that are harmful to the environment that contributes to greenhouse gases. Being wise in purchasing products or appliances for our home is a must because just like refrigerator, television, and light bulbs are the ones who are frequently used in our home, and some materials of it are from the natural resources of our earth that are not renewable. So if we purchase something in the market, we should always make sure that the product that we will purchase is eco-friendly because they are pretty harmless. Discipline starts at home. In order for us to attain a sustainable earth, we must conserve electricity because they are being generated by the fossil fuels, which is very harmful to extract in land masses. And of course, if no one is watching TV, it is not bad to turn it off because it is also a way to conserve for us electricity and help the earth in maintaining its natural resources. One last thing, I guess this is the best way and most popular way of segregating the waste found at home. And I guess it is very disappointing that some people are not practicing or applying the rules of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Because for instance, there are garbage collectors in the community which are struggling to segregate the waste that they have collected before it will be dumped into the dump site. And in the long run, the garbage will just be then piled up in the site and will contribute to different effects in the environment and of course the health of the people. Such as products like this. We should never throw it on the trash bin or even burn it because it will contribute to the harmful gases in the atmosphere. Instead, it can be used as a water container. Another is that these jars of jam can be also used again. We should not throw it because these are made of minerals that are found on earth, and if we throw it, we are already exploiting the minerals or the natural resources found on earth. Instead, store them and they can be storage for something. It's quite cute, right? These are from the leaves, the trees that giving us oxygen to breathe. And if we crumple the paper, we are just only wasting the trees that are giving life to man and other species. People should also learn to engage themselves in a community group in their barangay. For example, such group that has a goal to have a clean, green environment. Because in such way, they will be given knowledge on how to have a sustainable earth through their disciplines and also strategies to contribute a minimal waste. This is Queenie. Goodbye for now, and always remember that Earth is worth fighting for.
We love the earth, it is our planet. We love the earth, it is our home.
There is one significant thing that Ika taught me in my academic growth. It is to see the bigger picture in learning. Its educators have proven that establishing knowledge should not be temporary with the lack of passion. With this applied, I was able to grasp the lessons and concepts wholeheartedly. Furthermore, learning in Ika is not limited to dependence, for active communication occurs between teachers and students. The way our teachers trained us, I became more eager to learn independently as I am off from school.
Being a student leader is not easy, for it requires a lot of courage and dedication to become an effective one. At first, I am totally clueless on what may happen and if I can handle it or not. I have a lot of questions and doubts in myself because it is my first time to sit in a high position like this. I don't know how I will start, how will I implement my platforms, and on how I will lead my fellow students. All these things became easy with the proper guidance of the faculty staffs most especially our SSG advisor who didn't give up building my potential as a student leader, which inspired me to run for my second term. It felt good serving and being a role model to my fellow academians. It made me want to become a better person because there are people who trusted me. It gave a feel of my dream that is to lead our nation someday. For the 2 terms that I became the president of ICA, I have learned a lot of things which served as my stepping stone for my leadership career. With the knowledge I gained, I became a consistent student leader until now. I will always be grateful for all of these things, for it molded me for who I am today.
Hi, I am Isli Riz Kapusan, a grade 12 STEM student from Immaculate Conception Academy. I didn't know what was up for me here in Batak, but then I felt the warm welcome of ICA. Although I only have been studying here for more than a year now, I witnessed how great it is to be an academician. I cannot deny how they focus on the academics of every student and how they nurture individual skills of every academician. As for their senior high school, I value their learning techniques and teaching styles. I speak from experience when I say that my senior high school experience here has been a delight. Plus, I even received a bonus of new friends, new experiences, and new opportunities.
The Immaculate Conception Academy has been my home for 14 years, and I can say that I was molded here for what I am now. I've been a student leader during my stay, and I can say that it was a tough responsibility to lead the ship of ICA studentry. But since I was trained in this institution to be more responsible, I have given my best to carry out what is intended for me to do and what is expected of me. But more than that, I worked out of love for the betterment of all. I know I was not the best, but I did my best to meet the expectations of many. I was amazed how the Holy Spirit guided me as I did my role. And I am very grateful for the encouragement, for the support, and guidance extended to me by my teachers and advisors, and likewise with my fellow officers at that time. It was indeed a very wonderful experience serving fellow men as if you were serving God. Whenever there are things to be done, I always ask the guidance of the Lord for enlightenment, for His guidance so as to carry out the goal successfully. I can say that I was gifted to give the best service entrusted to me by my fellow Academians. I had great experiences, both good and the not so good, which I always treasure. The good ones are to be kept and cherished, and the not so good ones are to remind me to do better.
I thank everyone for believing in me. Above all, I thank God. He made me once a leader who was gifted with a humble heart, and I will always carry that and ready to give to anyone in need. I thank Ika for being a part of my transformation, a part of my whole being. God bless you, my home, for more than a decade.
So how did Ika hone me through the years as a student in terms of curricular activities? In my almost 2 years stay in Ika, it has improved me a lot as a student. Ika has removed my doubts on my capabilities and further enhanced my potentials through the curricular activities. Ika have turned my doubts into certainties, and those certainties made me who I am now, today, and who I will be tomorrow. I have learned a lot to be more patient in discovering what I have, because without the guidance of Ika, I will not be this determined and interested in uncovering the good path that I can attain. Ika offered so much that I can be thankful for. I am certain that it made me even trust myself even more. I became more flexible, confident, open to all kinds of possibilities and opportunities, and overall, a better person that is prepared to the future ahead of me. Ika has also brought me reasons to be more passionate in life through the curricular activities. I found simple situations and had deep realizations about it that I will forever carry. I have never been this so comfortable enjoying all the things I do and feel so confident about it until I entered Immaculate Conception Academy.
My Catholic education at Immaculate Conception Academy has been a fulfilling one, spiritually and academically. Most significantly, the school taught me to carry Christ in my heart wherever I go, doing what is right even when it's hard to do, and never stop loving those people around me. As I continue my journey through life, I'll forever hold the Immaculate Conception Academy in my heart while cherishing the memories, the teachers and friends I met in the years I was there. Thank you, Immaculate Conception Academy, for molding me into what I am now, and hope I will be in the years to come. Yes, I am a proud product of ICA and will always be an academian.
Because the party don't stop. So put your hands on me and turn me
as a student leader, my experience was fun. Well, it was hard, but it is still memorable. So as a student leader, I was able to experience a lot of things and interact with different people. One of the most unforgettable moments that I have as a student leader is during Sagot de Pascua, wherein we go to different barangays every year. So it is really fulfilling in my part because I was able to share happiness with different people. One more fulfilling thing as a student leader is that I was given the opportunity to serve the school and the students. It is just sad that we are not able to celebrate the 58th Academy Day inside the campus. But despite that, we academians still find ways to celebrate the Academy Day in this time of the pandemic. Happy 58th Academy Day, academians!
ICA was my home for 6 years. Well, it will always be my home. Since I was in grade 8, I was a student leader. So a big part of my academic journey was all about service. It's cliche to say, but ICA molded me into becoming a better version of myself. It taught me how to be selfless. It taught me how to give without asking anything in return. I will always say this to people I know or people I will encounter, that ICA turned my brokenness into blessedness, and I will always be thankful to the institution that became my home for 6 years.
ipaspas sa module mo. Ipalpas mo ulit ako na ka.
Number 1, letter A. Number 2, Jakpay Masarakan.
So, good morning class. Our lesson for today is page 100. So, ano nga ba dito yung class? About module. Okay class, attendance tayo biit. Blessa Angel. Blessa Angel. Awan. Nag-attendance tan summit lang. Ha, ma'am. Anak, Present. Present!
I got the eye of the tiger. Dancing through, you're gonna hear me.
12 years of education in ICA gave me the most remarkable character development, especially in academics. My experience with my alma mater taught me more than achieving exceptional grades, but to have excellence for wisdom.
suck, but I'll just start again. I keep falling down, I keep on hitting the ground. I'm scared now to see what's next. Birds don't just fly, they fall down and get up. Nobody learns without getting it wrong. I won't give up, no, I won't give in till I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No, I won't leave. I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I could fail. I won't give up, no, I won't give in till I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No, I won't leave. I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I could fail.
And I'll rise up, I'll rise like today, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. Oh, they can say anything they want to say, try to bring me down, but I won't face the ground. I will rise steadily, see the Lord of the rich. Oh Lord, they do try hard to make me feel that I don't matter at all, but I refuse to fall. Doing what I believe, all those faithful dreams, 'cause there's a light to me that shines brightly. Yes, they can try, but they can't take that away from me. From me. I could think of all the times you told me not to touch the light, and never thought that you would be the one. I couldn't really justify how you even thought it could be right, 'cause everything you cherished is gone. And in the end, can you tell me if it was worth the fight, so I can decide? Leaves will soon go from the barrenness of trees, and all will be alright in time. From waves overgrown come the calmness of seas, and all will be alright in time. Oh, you never really loved someone until you learn to forgive. Try as hard as I might to flee the shadows of the night. It haunts me and it makes me feel blue. But how can I try to hide when every breath and every I still end up thinking of you. And in the end, can you tell me if it was worth the fight? So I can hold on for as long as leaves will soon grow from the bareness of trees. All will be alright in time. From waves overgrown come the calmness of seas, and all will be alright in time. Oh, you never really loved someone until you learn to forgive.
Hi, my name is Lucia Catherine Esprica from grade 7 Joy, and this video is for my essay entitled A Change for the Better. After being an academia for almost 7 years now, I can say that I have changed a lot because of it. I have not only changed as a student, but also as an individual who believes in God and His many miracles. I find continuing to have faith in everything hard, because even if I give up my all and do my best, I feel like it's never enough. Because not always every time I get the outcome I want. Ika changed that. No, Ika changed me. They made me realize that having faith only in times of need is like loving someone and then hating them for no reason. Having faith is important. And I'm not only saying this because I need to. I'm saying this because I've experienced multiple scenarios in which I gave up and didn't have faith. Now looking back on those days, I realized that it was absurd of me to do so. Because I know that I knew a way to resolve such. But I didn't. Because I got scared. Because everyone keeps on telling me that I give my all too much on such simple things like an individual project. Honestly, I was and always have been scared about all the criticism. Even if they didn't tell me what's wrong with me and actually judges me in front of them. Whenever I look into their eyes, I can just see the judgment in them. Ika helped me change that. Ika made me realize that my reputation isn't what made me me. My characteristics are what made me who I really am. And I'm grateful for them. I never knew that when I enrolled to this school, not only my knowledge was changed, but also my whole being. As I'm making this essay, I remember all the times in when I feel like I've lost all hope and my faith was useless. Because I'm going nowhere with what I do. The Ika teachers and employees were all supportive of everything. Not only to me, but also to all the students. At first, I didn't want to go to Ika. But because of the warm welcome of the teachers and staff, I had faith that I will have a good time. And I did. I used to cry when my mom leaves in first grade. And now, it's my mom who cries because of how old I've gotten compared to what I was in first grade. My perspective in having faith back then was that it was important. But I really didn't think that having faith was that important. Not until now. Because now that I'm growing up, I realize how truly cruel the world is. And that having faith can make a big change in the world. Because I realized that the world won't change if the people just stop having faith. I'm so very thankful to Ika because they have been there for me at times. I felt alone and my faith was being tested. Without Ika, I probably wouldn't have realized a lot of things that I have realized today, and I wouldn't have been the person I am today without her. I look forward and I have faith in myself that even in quarantine, life lessons will be taught. Realizations will be realized, knowledge will grow, questions will be answered, faith will be stronger, I would be better, and as the years pass by, I wouldn't be as shy, and the bond would grow stronger, as my faith wouldn't disappear anymore. Once again, I'm Priscilla Carting Escobar from Grade 7 Joy, and this is my essay, A Change for the Better.
Have you ever wondered
What does being an academician
a Catholic student feels like?
Well, gladly, you're in this video.
And it's time for you to find out.
In this new normal of learning, ICA have provided the quality of education I am aiming.
Education that prepares students to the next level of schooling.
I love being an academician so much. Being an academician is an opportunity to make myself even better academically, spiritually, emotionally, and socially.
We are taught ideal values and academic lessons by the best teachers that help us excel and enhance our potentials and capabilities. Especially that we are guided holistically.
Even though we have a pile of schoolworks, we also not forget to spend time with God, and we never had an offline relationship with Him. We are the stewards of God and we must spread the good news.
Affirming one's relationship is one of our natural responsibilities as an academician, as we give hope, love, and respect to everyone, especially to those people in need, purely and non-biased.
I am Christ alive because there is truth in love.
I am striving both for academic and non-academic excellence. With the help of our teachers' wisdom, expertise, and compassionate heart in teaching, we students of ICA are home to surpass our limits and enrich our skills, talents, and capabilities even more in these pressing times.
I am Christ-centered. Our faith in God empowers us. We put God at the center of everything we do. He's our source of strength and refuge. We always ask for His guidance and the courage to overcome all the challenges that come along our way. We pray for blessing, repentance, thanksgiving, and intercession.
I am a servant of the Lord. We We are called not only to enjoy the beauty of what life has to offer, but to immerse ourselves into service, especially to the last, the lost, and the least. We see Jesus in the faces of His people, hence we are called to serve the others. We are a servant of the Lord not because we want to, but because we are called to. As this year's theme tells us, we are gifted to give.
I am Christ alive. As an Nicodemian, we live up Christ's examples and live it to our words and deeds. As a member of a Catholic school, we are gifted by the grace of the Holy Spirit to act and have our ways in connection to Jesus' teaching.
I am an Nicodemian. Once an Nicodemian will always be an Nicodemian. I am an Nicodemian not only by name but by heart. Honor of our premises of our beloved school, we are guided by the ethics and values that became our foundation to stand firm amidst adversities and challenges. Truly, the mission and vision of our school are not only to guide us, but it becomes our foundation in thereby realizing our goals in life. And that's what makes us who we are as Catholic students of Immaculate Conception Academy.
Hello world, this is your girl Shida, and you're about to join me in doing my chores while I explain to you who is an Nicodemian as a Catholic student. So without further ado, let's go!
I grew up in a Catholic household. That's why it makes sense that I enrolled in a Catholic school.
Over my 12 years of education in ICA, I learned that being Catholic isn't always about the perfect attendances during holy masses, nor about memorizing all the prayers.
To be a Catholic student means that we try our best to be the kindest to ourselves and to others. Tulad na lang sa pag-aaral natin, we obey given instructions sa activities just like how we Catholics obey the 10 Commandments in our everyday endeavors. And when we engage in our hobbies, even with the limitations and rules, we still enjoy. Just like when we join the church's activities, we enjoy much more.
And last but not the least, we do our part in our family, katulad ng paggawa ng house chores. Just like how we, as Catholics, being the body of the church, help those who are spiritually needy. All of those I said natutunan ko sa 12 years ko as an Nicodemian. Well, that's it for my short vlog. Thank you for watching. Bye world!
stand before the grand horizon. 500 years of faith, grateful today. We bear the gift of mission. Totally yours, we give ourselves, faithfully yours until the end. To your mission, Lord, we give our yes. Go where the sun rises above the hills. Share the word and serve those who are in need. Let the morning star accompany your way. Spread the fire of mission for the Lord. We stand before the grand horizon. 500 years of faith, grateful today. We bear the gift of mission. Totally yours, we give ourselves, faithfully yours until the end. To your mission, Lord, we give our yes. We are gifted to give and live our gifts. Mercy, compassion, justice, and peace. The sign the world today will come to believe is the love we have for one and all. We bear the gift of mission, mercy, compassion, justice, and peace. We stand before the grand horizon. 500 years of faith, grateful today. We bear the gift of mission. Totally yours, we give ourselves, faithfully yours until the end. To your mission, Lord, we give our yes. To your mission, Lord, to your mission, Lord, we give our yes. We give our yes.
Glad you're here. Ready to make some noise? We're making a joyful noise. Let's do it. Put your hands in the air. Yeah, come on, get them down. He's listening, and all you guys are listening to each other. And if you do like we do, come on, put your hands in the air and shout.
How do I begin to tell you about this friend who's like no other? Ever since the day he walked into my life, he's been more like a brother. Every day, every minute, there's a shower of love I feel. Something I used to just imagine, I tell you now. Now, in case you've forgotten, it's a free gift, you know. It's been an open invitation for every man or woman, every boy or girl, people from every nation, looking up onto the heavens, praising God for what He's done. Ooh, I can hear the chorus singing in their own native tongue. You gotta tell joy, sing His praises, lift your voice unto the Lord. Shout for joy, tell Him all about it. Lift your voice and let it roll. Shout for joy, sing His praises, lift your voice unto the Lord. Shout for joy, you gotta tell Him all about it. Lift your voice unto the Lord.
There is by the door of your heart. Open up and make a brand new start.
Like He said, when you see, you shall find Him.
Think again if you want to refuse. Everything to gain and nothing to lose.
I believe you know just what I mean. Hey, it's the truth. I'm telling you, it's real. It's something I believe the world should feel. I think we know all the facts. There's only one who wanna put us back on the right track. People in the west, east, north, and south. People that think I'm just blabbing my mouth. It ain't gonna work. I'm never gonna give it up. Telling people what they should definitely know about.
There is by the